We open up the phone lines, 800-585-1051. At what age do you leave your kids home alone? All right. Now, this conversation, we were talking behind the scenes. My son, who is 10 years old, I have 3 little girls that dance, and they do recitals, and sometimes those recitals take a couple of hours, and my son hates it. So he wants to stay home, and I can't let him stay home. He wants to play his video games at home. He wants to watch TV. He just don't want to be with his sister as they dance, all right? So yeah, I won't let him. I think 10 is too young. Now, 20 minutes, 30 minutes at the crib alone, yes. But a couple of hours, nah.
Not me. 20 minutes, not either, because things happen fast. It's interesting, right? Because I got four daughters, 15, 8, 5 and 2. And I don't know why they don't seem as mature as we did when we were that age. But I don't know if we were necessarily more mature or we just had more responsibility put on us. Meaning, like, I would get dropped off by the school bus at like 7, 8 years old and walk to my grandma's house, go sit in my grandma's house and wait for an adult to get off work. Because my grandma was a lunch lady, so she'd be the first person to get home. My mom's a school teacher. She'd get to my grandma's house a little bit later. So I don't know if it's because our kids don't seem as mature as we did, or maybe we didn't seem that mature either. We just had to handle more responsibility because there was no other choice. Like there was no affording of babysitters back then. Right. There was no affording of nannies back then. Like, this is what you have to do in order to eat, basically. Because your parents got to make a living, your grandparents got to make a living, so you got to do what you got to do and be responsible enough to make their life easier.
No, you're right. And I was thinking about it yesterday. Like, my mom got off of work at 5. There were no sick days. And when I mean sick days, like it would have to be a lot for my mom to miss work because I was sick. Mm-hmm. Like, when I was sick, I still went to school. Like, that's right. When I was sick, I stayed home alone. My mom did not, my pops really did not miss school. But back to the kids, we should feel more comfortable because when I was a kid, I didn't have cameras in my house or around my house. I only had 2 phones, and it was the long cord. Now my kids got cell phones. There's cameras all over the house. There's so many.
The way my anxiety set up,
things that would be more protective.
The way my anxiety set up, all that means for me is I get to see somebody kidnap my kids. I get to see somebody. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I'm not with that because I don't know if things were necessarily safer. Because like I've told y'all, if you read my book and everything, I was getting diddled at 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? I was getting touched on at 8 years old. So it's just like, were things actually safer?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what just because safety, just because something violent doesn't happen doesn't mean things are safer. Like, things weren't safer back then. Yeah. You know how many stories we got of people our age, men and women, who were getting touched on?
Yeah, but see, I hear more of it now. That's what makes me nervous, though. See, I hear more of it now. Like, before it was Channel 2, Channel 4, Channel 7, Channel 9, and the newspaper. That was it. Now I see there's Google, there's TikTok, there's social media, there's X, there's Instagram. It's so much to see now, which makes me worse.
So are people crazier? Or crazy has always existed? We just get to see it more now.
We get to see it more, I think.
No, I think people are crazier. And I think because of all of that technology you named makes people more crazier because people like to perform. Everybody know they got an audience. And when you got an audience, you like to show your ass. What your parents never used to tell you that? Yeah, you want to show off. You want to show off when company come over. You want to show your ass.
You want to show your ass.
I think a lot of people showing their ass. I don't
what's
know.
The age?
21. When they on 20, if you live with me, 21.
Let's go to the phone lines. Hello, who's this?
This is Coco calling from Hartford, Connecticut.
Hey, Coco from Connecticut. At what age would you leave your child at home alone?
Well, I think it depends on the child because children mature different.
That's true.
And like I have a 10-year-old, and he's the same like you, Envy. He doesn't like to go out to all of the events we go with his sisters, but he's a gamer and he's very mature. And I'll let him stay home for an hour or two, and we'll come back, and he's still in this room. He has a cell phone. He got his little snacks. But I would not have left my daughter home when she was 10. She was a little bit more into things, touching stuff and getting into stuff. So I think it definitely is based on the maturity of the child.
I agree. But you know what bothers me, Coco, with the gaming? They got the headphones on, right? And if your son is like my son,
that's right.
He's yelling, focused. Right? So he yells. So he don't know what's going on in the house.
Whole house could be on fire. He's sitting there playing goddamn Minecraft.
You know what? You're right.
I smell smoke.
Absolutely right.
Is that smoke?
Coco, you know what I do? I sneak up in his room sometimes, And I just sit there and I watch him play, and I'll hide on the side of his bed, and I just yell his name, Jackson. He takes his head off, and he looking for me. He don't know what's there, and I just try to scare the ish out of him just to make him aware, because he don't know what's happening during that time.
You're right. I mean, because my 10-year-old is just like that. Headphones on, screaming at the game, and the house probably could be burning down. But for the most part, that hasn't happened. He's just a really mature kid. He doesn't, he's not like somebody that messes up stuff. So I trust him, It depends on the kid.
All right, Coco. What game does he play, Coco?
He likes them all. He likes Fortnite. He likes his gorilla tag on the Quest, all that good stuff.
Coco, I'm gonna get your son's gaming, and I'm gonna link him up with my son so they can play together. My son be going in.
Oh, absolutely, he do too. He a beast. I just want to say thank you guys so much. I listen to you guys every morning. I finally got through. Happy New Year to you all, and I just want to say thank you so much for doing what you guys do.
Thank you. But that's what I'm saying about the kids, man. Like, I don't know if we were more mature when we were younger, or we just had the weight of the responsibility, meaning that our parents were at work. Yeah. We couldn't afford babysitters, and we knew that. Like, there was a conversation that was had, like, hey, I gotta be at work. So when you get off the bus, and there was something to that, right? Like, when your parents give you that kind of responsibility, you didn't want to let them down.
Yeah. But see, there was rules and regulations, right? So you knew not to answer that door, right? You knew certain things you had to say, and you couldn't say to teachers, and certain things you couldn't say.
See, y'all grew up in the city, so it was different for us.
Oh.
Growing up down south in the country, we probably didn't lock the door at that time.
Oh, we locked the door.
You know what I mean? And like, we knew everybody in the area. There was no random people popping up to the house.
But like, if somebody came to me and said, "Where's your mama?" Right? When I was a kid, I'd probably be like, "Oh, my mom just went to the mailbox right now. She'll be right back." Mm-hmm. My son would be like, "Oh, mom and dad is at the recital. They be back in 5 hours." Like, there's too much truth going on now.
Lord have mercy.
Yes, absolutely. Amanda, good morning, Amanda. Amanda?
Good morning, beautiful people.
Hey, good morning, Amanda. What age do you
All right, listen, I'm going to tell you 12.
Why 12?
Listen, because they come off the bus, they need to go home, and they know, like, I get home at 5. It's not that far. It's 2 hours away. That's the test trial. You do it for 2 hours.
2 hours away? What do you mean? You?
I get home at 5. So if they get off the bus at 3, they got 2 hours to stay home. That's the test trial. Then when they hit 13, wait. Oh, my God. My husband is crazy. He wants to tell y'all it's not 12. Oh, my God.
What age is your husband think?
What is he saying?
Yo, shout out to the Breakfast Club, man. What's up, man? How y'all doing?
What's going on, bro? What age do you leave your kid at home alone?
14. High school.
High school.
I'm not mad at 14.
All right. Thank you, bro.
All right, shout out to the Breakfast Club, man. All love.
Love, King.
Yeah, so, I mean, but see, 7th and 8th grade is when you really start taking the bus, especially in the city. You start taking the bus, you get the half bus pass or the bus pass.
Man, we was riding yellow buses in kindergarten. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about city buses.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, no. Well, 800-585-1051. At what age is it okay to leave your child at home? And see, in the city, some of the kids take the bus at 9, 10 years old. The city bus, not the yellow bus, the city bus.
I'm going to tell you something, man.
Or the subway.
There's no way I would let my child ride the subway or the city bus at 9 years old in New York City in 2024. There's no way. You see the crazy stuff that happen on the train nowadays? The crazy stuff that be happening on public transportation? I don't believe parents are still doing that. I'm sure that they are, because just like I was talking about earlier, you'd have no choice.
Right.
But man, bro, y'all better than me, because the way my anxiety is set up, man, hell no.
800-585-1051. Let's discuss this. The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. If you're just joining us, we're asking, at what age do you allow your child to stay at home alone? It's a conversation we were having. It actually comes from my son, Jackson. He's a gamer. He loves to play games. He's 10 years old. His sisters have recitals, and he hates going to the recitals. He wants to stay home. He wants to game. He wants to chill, watch TV, play on his phone. But it's like, I don't like leaving him home alone. I'm sorry. Just, it is what it is. So we're asking, at what age is it okay? Hello, Derek. Derek, you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Derek. At what age is it okay to leave your child at home?
Listen, man, I'm from the D, right? So I would definitely 100% say 16, 17 is the lowest I would do. And not only because of all the crime that's going on, but because you can't trust that a kid instinct is the same as an adult. So
I agree.
Fire break out. Do they know how to use a fire extinguisher? You know, a child has to be prepared to be at home by themselves. You can't just take age as an appropriate thing to determine if a child is old enough to be at home by themselves. You got to make sure they're equipped with the knowledge of emergencies.
I agree. And you know what else, too, man?
Hold on, but you know,
we had less distractions when we were kids.
He's talking junior, senior in high school.
Okay.
17 is junior, senior in high school.
And I agree with him. Like you're basing this off how we grew up. Like right now, I think that there's a lot more things going on in the world, and there's more distractions for kids. We were able to be more focused when we were home alone because we didn't have nothing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's right. Not only that, you got to remember the dangers of the world. See, and when you got nannies and stuff, so even when your kids at home by themselves, they ain't at home by themselves. Our kids at home by themselves, man. You know, if a drive-by shooting happen, a fire break out, you know, what kids 14, 12, under 14 knows what to do. I mean, yeah, you gonna call the police, but what happened in between the time of them getting there? Is that kid still in danger?
You're right.
You understand what I'm saying? It's too much going on in the world, man, to be so negligent. As African Americans, we the first ones on TV doing a GoFundMe and asking for help and talking about I don't understand why, because we ain't using our knowledge and understanding of what the world is today. It ain't what it used to be in the 1800s, as Uncle Sean would say.
Or the 1900s. We ain't that old.
1900s. Yeah, 1900s.
But I think 17 is just it's a little too far because
I don't.
A lot of kids go to college at 18.
Well,
so if you never stayed at home at 17, how do you go to college?
College, it's a totally different ball game. I'm not mad at him.
College sometimes is worse depending on where the college is.
And by the way, that person who just called, what's the brother's name?
Derek
that called from Detroit. Derek knows his environment better than either one of us.
You're right.
So Derek knows exactly, what age his child is fit to be in that environment.
Yep.
And we all do.
Yeah. And growing up in Queens, we had, like, my dad taught me different routes. If there's a fire, if there's an incident, where to hide, where to go, who to call. Like we go through that whole thing. You got Andrew on the line. Andrew, good morning.
Good morning, man.
Hey, how you feeling, Andrew? Where you calling from?
Calling from Alabama.
Alabama. All right. At what age is it okay to leave your child at home?
Well, see, there's a lot of discussion about that to be had, but my son is 13, and he stays at home by himself, but we also have rules in place, If somebody comes up to the door, he don't need to go to the door. He needs to call one of us. He's got a cell phone. He knows how to use it. If somebody tries to break in, call the police,
And how old is he?
He's 13.
13.
Okay. Where y'all at? Where y'all live at?
Alabama.
See, Alabama's a little bit different. You live in like a rural area?
I mean, it's a little city. It's got 2 red lights and a Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah, so everybody pretty much knows each other?
I would say that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of what's the word, bigots out here.
Oh.
So yeah, it's one of them. There's a kind of a controversial thing, but like I said, he's 13 and he does really good. He's very responsible.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then you know what? When I was young too, I also it's gonna sound funny, but I also had a dog too. So when I was getting off that bus early, there was a dog.
You always had a little punk-ass dog?
Always had a punk-ass dog. Always had a dog at the house as well. So if there was ever a situation, I had some help when I got to the crib. What's the moral of the story?
I mean, the moral of the story is you got to do what works for you. Like I said earlier, everybody knows their environment, right? Mm-hmm. And you know your child. So if you think your child is mentally and emotionally prepared to stay at home and you live in the type of environment where you feel comfortable leaving that kid at home, sure, do it. But me, no. 21 years old, you old enough to stay at home by yourself, if you ask me. But that's just me being a very micro-managing father.
Me as well.
At the moment.
All right. Well, when we come back, we got your rumor report. We got to tell you about the Book of Clarence, a movie that comes out January 12th, executive produced by Jay-Z. And the soundtrack, Jay has a song on there. We'll tell you about it when we come back. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.